Welcome back to week 3 of the Quake Pro League Season 4. I am 40 Lions, joined by Lethal, and up next we have the Sausage King of Chicago, Rapha, facing off against SIB Vicious, maybe Siblicious. I don't know, Lethal, but this matchup should be a good one.
It should be pretty good indeed. SIB seems to be very motivated this season to try and get some work done, and he's done some work. If I remember rightly from the top of my head, he's beaten Huron earlier in the season, I think during the first week 2-1. He did lose to Zeniku, I think, previously to that, but still, he took a map, so it shows potential of what he's capable of. But it's Rapha we're talking about, so again, this is a guy who's going to take no for an answer and sort of giving any maps away, shape or form. But SIB has been playing okay so far, he's been playing well, and I think in terms of how he feels he's doing in comparison to some of the other top dogs, he needs to really... it's hard to explain. With SIB, with what he needs to do at the moment, we know that in terms of his history with Rapha, he's been on a struggle bus numerous times. I
feel like most players can kind of say that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Probably at least probably about 10 players.
Yeah, probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Quake player of all time across multiple titles. I mean, it's a big mountain to try and scale. We'll see what SIB can do. He's been in the league in and out for a couple years now, since really Quake Champions came out. He's been playing tournaments. He's gotten some LAN experience, so he's not new by any means. But still, facing it Rapha is always going to be a challenge because Rapha's so good at adapting to whatever you bring to the table. Even if you're changing your mechanics, your play style, everything, Rapha can download you like that, and then it's a whole different ballgame. But as always, we need to take a look at the map picks, and I'm interested to see if Rapha is going to ban Clutch outright, and it looks like he does because everybody has to respect the Clutch pick. So starting off on Corrupted Keep, then we're going to see Vale for the first time today, and we're going to finish off on Awoken. Lethal, if you could do me the honor of running through the champs for me, please.
Yeah, it's funny you were talking about the Clutch pick as well, because the only players I've really seen nowadays use the Clutch is Razy, SIB, and Strong Sage. Apart from that, that's literally about it. But looking at Corrupted Keep already, we do have the Strog coming out for Rapha straight away, which is perfectly understandable with the Anarchy. We've seen this matchup before, but we're going to witness it once again. And both players are also going for the safe picks with the Ranger and the Eisen as well. Of course, Rapha heavily prefers Vale going into this one. And then we've got the Violence versus Nick. So this is actually very typical and very standard champion picks. Nothing really off meta in any way, shape or form. Nothing really unorthodox, of course, with the Clutch bans, the Scale ban, of course, for Vale, and then the Athena bans on the very last map being on Awoken. This is as standard as they come here for you. No shenanigans here.
No shenanigans. No mucking about, mate.
Mucking about, mate.
In terms of what you think, the breakdown, I mean, is it automatic? It's so easy to just be like automatically, no matter who Rapha's playing, 3-0 Rapha. But if you look at this, do you see anything that might lead you to believe that SIB can pull out some magic? Anything where you're like, okay, that's an interesting pick? As you said, it's pretty standard meta right now across the maps. But do you think that SIB has any surprises up his sleeve?
It's really tough because with that 3-0, it's just kind of stamped on this match already. But the only thing I could think of is, like, even though Rapha, he's one of his better maps being Vale, or one of his favourites according to him anyway, not too sure if it still is his favourite, but it wouldn't surprise me if it still was. You've got to remember that SIB does have that Eisen, and Eisen can be extremely strong on Vale, depending on how well you invest the turret on certain areas, how you try and contest those items around top mega and top heavy, and you can try and bait out your opponent. We've seen Rapha lose quite a few times on Vale to likes of Maxter and a couple of other players, and Razy as well. But the problem with SIB is not at that level just yet. And the problem is he may have a good idea or a rough understanding of how to defeat Rapha on this map, because it's been a fair few times Rapha has lost on Vale. But I don't think SIB is going to have the capability to not only try and do him down on this map, but on Corrupted Keep or Awoken either. I do feel like Corrupted Keep and Awoken, Rapha does have that champion advantage. And with SIB, though, even though he has the Eisen, the Ranger can pack just as much as a punch as the Eisen can. So, yeah, this is why that 3-0 kind of pops up quite a lot, and I'm sure in a lot of people's minds as well.
Interesting. Well, I'm not really superstitious, but I'm not going to bet on anything or predict anything because I will just ruin everything. So I'm going to let chat do their thing. I'm going to let you do your thing. I'm just going to be present in the moment and enjoy this set that we're going to have upon us shortly. I heard the sound of the buzzer. We're going into map number 1. Taking a quick look at the predictions, and I missed them already because you snooze, you lose here, Lethal, all right? Quake is a fast game, all right? You got to be quick with your decision making. I saw something, but I guess it's gone now forever. So, like my dreams, dashed in a heartbeat.
Smile, gone, just like that. What a shame.
I try.
But I think we can't beat around the bush here. I assume the percentage is probably in the 90s anyway in terms of Rapha winning this first map. I don't even need to take a look at it. There's some crazy person out there who's gone, actually, do you know what? I know that SIB can take this. And you never know. He still has a small chance. But we'll find out in the meantime anyway. But you're just joining us, fourth series of the day. We all go to Corrupt to Keep. It's going to be Rapha versus SIB. Strog versus the Anarchy. We've seen this matchup before. We're going to see it again. And we're going to see how different the outcome is going to be with entirely different players. We'll be starting off from our perspective here. Finding him straight away as he was attempting to go towards that light. Used the beacon to get a bit more damage done. Should to clean up here. Sticks him here and there and absolutely everywhere. Finally cleaning up beautifully. And Rapha will get the first frag.
Yeah, a lot of buckshot blast, but eventually Shoddy Pippin reigns supreme. 1-0. Machine gun on machine gun. Rocket damage will not land. SIB weak. Rapha about the same stack, but had a little bit of armor, so he's willing to hang in there a little bit longer. On the hunt again with the shotgun, knowing that he could chunk through that Anarchy so fast. SIB able to grab that heavy and burn that on the way out as Rapha, again, so good at leaving up items, pursuing his opponent, and being able to fall back on any items that he has. So good positioning here from Rapha. SIB trying to get away, trying to play a little defensive here. Peeker in hand, good buckshot around the corner too, but the rocket lands perfectly at the skateboard there. Bit of a rock on the way of SIB's path. A little bit of a speed bump, if you will. 2-0 for Rapha, 1 minute into Corrupted Keep.
Yeah, speed bump seems to be a nice way of saying it. Heavy machine gun coming up for Rapha, looking to see how he's going to hit his opponent, but also circulate around. It's going to catch him. His trousers down around that jump pad with LG. Still good tabs on him. Still knows around that tribal area.
Ooh,
it was a little bit
rocket.
with the shotgun, but he's so weak. Only an 8 from that last shoddy. And SIB is going to get his first frag on the ball. Let's see what he can do.
Not bad at all, SIB. Able to get that frag on the board. Keep this one close here as he's grabbing some health bubbles. Knows the Mega's up. Positioning well. Rapha, here he comes for some damage. Nothing is free in Quake here. Peeker around the corner to try and get some damage. Pinning SIB behind the LG, and here comes Rapha through the telly. Big rockets from SIB, but he'll actually miss, and Rapha melts him down with the LG. Just missing out on big damage, unfortunately. Rapha able to take this 3-1, extend the lead by 2, and he's got him in the red room. And SIB has just been constantly forced to use the inject to survive. It's not even an overstack issue. It's just, I need to pop this to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, it's been an understack more than anything so far, but he's still got plenty of time left on the clock. From Rapha, last little 96 with the peak on top. One that comes out for SIB. Fair play to him, he did give it a go, but of course, yeah, he was not going to be able to do much there as of yet. Now Rapha just goes that peeker once again. It's going to catch. Oh, good direct and clean up with the LG as well. Next stuff coming up from Rapha with that read. Maker's going to be up in the next few seconds, but both items in all fairness are coming up in sync. Some matter of who's going to go for what, where, and how. LG coming out from Rapha. LG also coming out for SIB. Good use of that peeker once again. 6-1 now in favour of Rapha.
Rapha, no signs of stopping, jumping over the rocket through the choke point, does get knocked into the boneyard, but SIB actually dives in after him and gets a little bit of a float with the LG. 7-1 in favor of Rapha, and SIB has to stop the bleeding. I'd love to see him start delaying some spawns and just giving himself some breathing room right now as he's down early. Still plenty of time, especially with the speed of Anarchy. Picking up the Mega, that's a good start. That's a long way back, Lethal.
And is indeed 49% LG and 27.8%.
Nice rocket.
SIB. Rocket indeed. Still not use that big as of yet. Got a good whereabouts or read on where it is anyway. This could be a good time. There's a few shots with that heavy machine gun. Mega's now up. SIB looking to take this fight, or at least try and tickle him a bit more before he approaches that Mega, but the problem is he's got no armor to his name. Rapha's got plenty here using this peeker. Some good damage as well, the 75 from that last one. He had to use the inject to try get away as well, but how long for? This is the question here for you.
Stack is decent, no armor though, and items are all tied up. So he does get a light armor in the red room, and it's just a matter of what Rapha wants to do. Is again, he's so good at just playing his opponent and leaving the items up. Luckily for SIB, he will grab another clean Mega as Rapha opts for the heavy. Another light armor in his pocket. LG on LG. SIB is getting melted down. Needs to be careful. Great damage on the way out, but Rapha comes out on top again, 8-1.
Shotgun at range. Doing a little bit, but the inject comes out as well. Might as well consider using the peak at the same time. That was a tiny advantage, but... Oh, Nails is going to do him in, but
the double back.
To clean him up, it was. And the Mega's ready and waiting for him, but don't forget, no heavy going the way of SIB. Problem is, though, halfway in this matchup, 9-1. Last time we saw a scoreline like this, when the opponent on 1 was able to pull the way back, was the Maxter versus Razy matchup at Pinkon back in November, where Max was able to claw back a 8 and 9 frag deficit and take it in the end with the slash. But yeah, this could be an entirely different story here. SIB just trying to do everything he can to bring himself back into this matchup, but still not able to. 10 frag deficit, needs to try and claw his way back from, and got 4.5 minutes left remaining.
Like the rocket jump there from SIB to make sure that he gets back to the heavy in time. Trying to chase a little bit. The peeker comes out. He's going to be... Oh, no. He can't even melt it down with the machine gun. The starting machine gun damage not enough. Another peeker frag for Rapha. 12-1 now. Shotgun from down below trying to blast him off the ledge. Big rockets into the shotgun blast of his own. Rapha takes yet another one, adding to his body count. 13-1. Shotgun in the red room isn't going to be enough. The light armor in the middle of the fight might do it, but Rapha again. Shoddy Pippin so clutch from beyond the arc.
Being so patient with that shot as well. And oh, the LG comes out from Rapha. Good heavy machine gun damage once again, considering and the Anarchy was a little bit slippery around that Mega. He was up in the next 15. Good damage coming out from SIB, but would he be able to continue go down a little bit more? He's coming back for more actually, with the 40 coming out from Rapha, but heavy machine gun, both players coming out in that red room. He was able to stay alive. Bag a second frag, but this is definitely mathematically impossible at this point. And as soon as Rapha goes defensive, that's it. That's GG.
Machine gun exchange from both players here. SIB might get the best of Rapha. There's the rocket switch, and he does. 7 minutes in, trailing by 11. But as he said, barring a miracle, I think this one might be in the books, so to speak. I feel like SIB just kind of played it too fast at the beginning, giving up too much of a frag lead. And if you give Rapha this many frags, he'll just play defensive, as you said, if he needs to. But I still feel like Rafa's still going to play the game all the way to the timer the way that he wants. Kind of trying to assert dominance, control the map. SIB is just hanging in there right now. Inject is available. LG comes out. There's the inject as well, but Rapha just melts him down out in the open.
He doesn't muck around at all. He's definitely the kind of player who will play. And the game should be played for the full 10 minutes without any kind of defensive posture to no bounds, unless depending on the circumstances. 2 minutes 15 left. 13 frags to claw his way back from, but we did say this was going to happen. I did mention it earlier on, but I'm sure made that assumption as well. Problem is, how much more is Rapha going to add to the tally here, making it 17 with a couple minutes left.
1,200 damage with the super shotgun.
That's like the same as some people's LGs, isn't it?
My LG, and I'm really upset that you called me out in front of all these people, but 19-3. As again, we've speculated in the past, and I don't want to start rumors, but I feel like Rapha gets paid per frag. I don't know what deal he has. I'm just saying it seems like it the way that he's playing like an absolute madman right now. Man got bills to pay, Lethal.
That is true, that's true. Maybe some of his liquid contracts. I have absolutely no idea. LG's still coming out for Rapha. 22-3. Do you know what? It does feel like that to a certain degree. As SIB, his bag is full frag. Minute left here, 40. Minute left. And the terror stops.
Minute left, and I think, a couple minutes ago, I think the strategy from SIB was, all right, next map. Let me focus in on the next map. Let this one get away from me a little bit too quickly. I need to focus. Because there's still 2 maps to go. There's still an opportunity. There's always an opportunity in Quake. Is SIB trying to fight from down below with the tri-ball, just getting peppered right now. Nice little jump pad fake, but Rapha's right around the corner, sliding into those DMs, and he's like, hey, it's Buckshot. Hi. It's me, your Uncle Buckshot.
Uncle Buck, sure. Okay.
I love
That
movie.
would make
It's
it
great.
more interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
24 with 20 seconds left remaining, Rapha's still teetering on the edge of death, but the Peaker's going to say no to that for we.
Peaker says nay. 25-3. Maybe a little more. Yeah. Still not done. Again, paid per frag, in my opinion. One day we might figure that out, but as we hit the final timer, one more, and there it is. 27-3. The man out here trying to set records in duels in a rough start from SIB, and I think after, you know, the midway point, it was just like, look, let's go next map. Let this one get away from me a little bit too early. So hopefully he can bounce back for map number 2, but a fantastic showing by Rapha. Absolute domination, 27-3 on Corrupted Keep.
Yeah, it's unbelievable stuff there from Rapha. 45% LG, considering he hit God knows how many. I think he had about 2,500 damage roughly. We'll check that in a second, but yeah, just nothing that he could have done at all in numerous ways. Just kept SIB in check, put him in a blender for the majority of it. All said and done, really. Just making sure he couldn't get any weapons in his arsenal, eating all these lights, just piling on so much pressure. But the weird thing is as well, is the fact that the items were quite similar in terms of what was controlled. Of course, Rapha did have about 2 or 3 more items in comparison to what SIB had, but just putting every part of that stack into full effect and just using the Peaker so damn well. And as you rightly mentioned as well, with the inject, more using it to stay alive in the worst case scenario rather than having an overstack to be prepared for engagement, and just chose the perfect timing. All about timing in a lot of ways from Rapha in this matchup here, but might be a slightly different story on Awoken, who knows. But yeah, SIB hopefully won't go from one nightmare to the other. Find out surely looking at 27-3, 2,400 damage. Sorry, I thought it was 2,500, but in the end of the day, it don't matter. Just way too much damage on his plate against SIB. And yeah, some cracking stuff from Rapha as always. Nothing we didn't expect here.
Yeah, a bit brutal. I don't know if I expected it to be that brutal, but that's the way it goes sometimes. This is Quake, baby. It happens. But map number 2, we are waiting to get in there shortly. It's going to be Vale Ranger for Rapha, Eisen for SIB. Do you see it going any differently? Do you still feel like the frag deficit's going to be that big? Are we seeing a closer game, Letha? What do you feel deep in your loins?
In my loins, mate, I think it's going to be relatively the same, but I think the scoreline's going to be a tad different. I don't think he's going to get as many frags, but it depends how Rapha's feeling, really. If he fancies a 30, then go for it. You know, it seems to be his on his agenda anyway, compared to what we just saw in the first map. But yeah, it's a lot more, you know, it's with all the choke points and narrow corridors. I think SIB's going to try and keep his distance and try and abuse that turret, but yeah, it's going to be tough. And when you've just lost by a 24 frag margin, you kind of start second guessing yourself a little bit, aren't you? But he knew this was going to happen. He's got no pressure. He knows and understands that this is probably what was to be expected, you know, not just from himself, but from the rest of us. And if it could take even just one map, you know, fair enough, great, you know, it'll boost his confidence even if he loses out in the series for his future matchups. But can't really see it happening for him. I don't know what you think.
I feel like the rail coming into play might be a saving grace for SIB. If he can start stringing together some rails and play the distance game and slow things down, because the problem was a Corrupted Keep. It was just so fast-paced, and, you know, 4 minutes in, you're down by 11. I mean, it's really hard to overcome that. So I hope that the rail plays a big part in SIB's game, defensively, being able to kind of posture a little bit better, keep the pace more to his liking, which is a little bit slower. Taking a quick look at the predictions, 89% in favor of Rapha for map number 2. I mean, you do have to be a little bit crazy to bet against Rapha, no matter who he's playing. But surprises are always for Saturdays. I don't know if that's a thing. But here we are, map number 2. We're going to start off on Rapha. He's got the Dire Orb in hand, got rockets, got LG, and he's got a clear path to the Mega. Does take a rail initially, and so much LG right off the bat. Also could follow up with the Dire Orb and does around the corner. There's the Timmy the turret. The rockets coming out. SIB actually takes the first frag.
Yeah, the fact that the turret was directly in front of him, just taking the brunt of that damage as he was still using the LG, that was just... I don't know how he came out of that one. I have to watch that one back. But here we go. We'll be up at... Oh, there's 2 rockets back to back. That's... Do you know what? That's a momentum killer. That is a momentum killer in itself. And then taking down straight afterwards, knowing that the Mega's coming up. Yeah, what a shame. Considering how much of a great start he had at the beginning.
But machine gun damage does get a rocket trying to fade away. A little bit of rocket damage on the way out as well. Not too bad. Wants to try and safely get that rail. Rapha just missing. Good news for SIB as he can maintain that stack, and now he has that rail at play. Great rail. There goes Timmy. The rocket actually knocks him off, so the heavy should be free for Rapha as he makes his way over. There's the rocket jump, utilizing Ranger's passive to ensure that he gets the mega. But again, he's delaying nicely. He's doing damage. He's falling back, and he's hitting fadeaways. The man is crazy.
Not long at all. 10 seconds until this next heavy appears once again on a respawn, but Rapha is in position. He's just waiting for this light to spawn, but he has managed to bag it. And has got another one. I don't know how this fight is going to go. Manages to get it, so he's not going to have to deal with too much. But saying that, oh, he has to be careful. I thought he was going to use another rail, but he was available at the time. Oh, Fortin. Oh, what an orb. 4-1 now in favour of Rapha.
Hit him with the Hado. 4-1 in favor of Rapha. As SIB is utilizing that rail as I suspected. He's trying to play defensive, but the spacing isn't exactly perfect. But definitely, it's an equalizer here for SIB. As if he can utilize that rail a little bit better. Nice rail, just like that. There goes Timmy. A little bit of rocket damage around the corner, making Rapha have to second guess this, but nope. Rocket's taking him out, swaps to LG, melts him down 5-1 in favor of Rapha.
Lovely. Just continue to stick to Rapha's POV. Oh, that missed rail, but 100 from the shotgun. Oh dear, the LG just to try and clean things up. Oh, okay, SIB did have the opportunity there to try and roll back a second frag, but sadly for him, just missed out. Using the orb to pick up the mega just for extra insurance. Hasn't got any readings or info on where SIB will be. Will do now. I'm backing away from that tri-bolt. No more turret. SIB, as we're approaching this heavy. Heavy will be up in the next 5 seconds. And a little bit of damage. SIB from that with his rocket. Good tri-bolt damage though. Has to completely back away. And I kind of feel like it's just a matter of time, just delaying the inevitable. As he does hear him, could go for the rail shot. Just managed to get away. And now it's a margin, but tends to go for the mega. Oh, okay. Even with the stacks, I was surprised that SIB was able to do so much damage. But Rapha again takes him out. 7-1. Almost 4 minutes in, and does have the orb put to good use. Depending on this, how this next bout's going to go.
And SIB is able to get Rapha low, but the way Rapha is taking these fights and positioning, after he gets the frag, he just has a major item up waiting for him. And it's very purpose-built strategy by Rapha. He's playing this map extremely well. SIB down by 6, 4 minutes in, but he is utilizing the rail well. He just needs to be able to close out on some of these frags and get some momentum going. Nice distraction with Timmy. There's the Dire Orb, though, to close the gap. As they're trading places out here after the Mega Scoop. Wants to get better positioning on the heavy, and SIB now has to make his way through the Thunderdome, and it's going to be a lot of lightning waiting for him.
Hey. Oh, okay. So he was still trying to contest it, but short-lived, sadly. Oh, another great rail from Rapha, trying to make it a second. Melixo's going to play it safer to shotgun, but SIB's still trying to fight back with this rail. But yeah, just a matter of time at this point. Nearly at the halfway stage. Mega is up, and that's going to be gone for straight away. Cleans up the turret. SIB's going to pull it through. Yes, he does, but it's going to be greeted by that direct earlier on. Rapha's going to see if he can try and get another angle. 2 seconds until his next heavy's going to be up. Great tri-bolt, 72 from the previous one. I'll back away again, but again with the tri-bolt on the heavy back to back. So much pressure considering he's on the defensive, trying to position himself for that heavy.
SIB waiting patiently. Vitelli exit. Wants to get a little cheeky with the tri-bolt. And Rapha says, no, I'm good, man. I know. I have the Dire Orbs up to grab that Mega. Does eat a little bit of tickle of LG as SIB has to back away now, down to 19 HP. Ooh, the tri-bolt just clips him.
He's going from...
Oh, he's going to float? Nope.
Strength to strength for Rapha. Worse for worse, isn't it? 40, dearie me. 12-1 now. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, probably similar situation, different outcome, as in... scoreline, of course. Not an outcome as in SIB being able to take this, but yeah, it seems like rapha's wanting to try and go for another 30 frag if we can, but I don't think that's going to happen. He's waiting for SIB to go to TP. Another direct through the portal. Rail straight afterwards. Picks up the heavy, and SIB suicides because, of course, he wants to try and get himself out of a bad situation and get the recovery process. Exactly. But you know what? rapha saw that clear as day and didn't do him any favors. But fair play for SIB to try that.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's just brutal. There's nothing you can do. You're 6:30 in, you're down 14. You're facing rapha, and he will never stop until you ring the bell. So, pain train's coming, Lethal. It ain't gonna stop.
It's not. It was. I think SIB was thinking the nightmare's over. Maybe into a dream matchup.
Oh my god!
But this time round, the nightmare
It's a boop.
continues.
He got a boop.
Oh dear me! It's such a shame as well. But hopefully this won't SIB
Nice
off
rail.
too much here. Yeah, good rail indeed. He is railable at this point, but yeah, of course rapha's gonna better stop that with the orb and the shotgun combo. Coming up the jump pad, but SIB knows it's over. You know, he's not silly. He's just trying to at least claw back a couple of flags to keep the scores respectable, but he just can't. But
On
saying
the
that,
board,
though,
Lethal.
okay.
We did it.
Yeah.
We did it, Reddit. Don't you ever count out SIB, okay? One
trying,
frag
mate,
against
trying.
rapha. I would be so happy if I can get a frag against rapha. I don't think I could.
You have done that.
I don't know. I don't remember. 19-1 now. As the Mega is secured, and oh no, he gets floated, riding the lightning all the way down. It's gonna leave a Metallica taste in your mouth. 20-1, 8 minutes in. A little brutal, I'm not gonna lie. And if this is rapha's favorite map, he's showing us why. Although the last time he said that, Dan was quick to point out, you've lost every time you've played it. But that's neither here nor there. That's in the past. Absolutely brutal play from rapha right now.
That is peculiar though, isn't it? Because it was actually him who said it. Like it was him who mentioned it. But statistically, it probably is one of his worst maps. But maybe he just really enjoys it and doesn't really care win or lose.
Oh my god, the rail. This dude's hitting 56% rail.
Are you surprised?
I mean, rapha's not known for his rail play necessarily, but he's hitting big damage right now. It's mostly the control, but he's also just laying down the hurt right now.
He certainly is. There's absolutely no stopping him at the moment. Unless he gets traded out, waiting for the directs. Won't get it this time round. Misses out on the Mega as well. SIB finally claws back with a second frag, but we know it. Everyone knows at home. Pretty much knows at this point. 24-2 minutes and left remaining.
Almost getting a jumping rail here. SIB has to be a little bit careful. Going up. But at this point, you have nothing to lose. So YOLO, send it, and rapha's able to melt him right through the telly. And SIB has played that position so many times that rapha's a little, like, just aware of everywhere he might want to be. Good frag from SIB there. 25-3. So we're counting down the final 30 seconds of this one. And it's looking more and more like it might be a 3-0 Lethal. I don't know. I have a hunch.
What makes you say that? What makes you say that?
I don't know.
I'm curious.
There's just a feeling that I'm getting. I have to trust my feelings sometimes. 25-4 is SIB. He's getting some frags near the end here. That's good to, you know, keep that accuracy up. Keep your mouse hand warm as you're going into the third map, because put a little money in your pocket, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
Just take it one map at a time at this point. 3 seconds left, 25-4. Speaking of 4, it's left on 4 HP, and that's going to be it for the second map here between rapha and SIB. Still got one more left to go. Confirm that 3-0 victory to see if he does manage to secure it. But will he? Well, the scorelines, it's looking like it at the moment, but we'll see.
I think it's going to be close. It might be close. It's going to be Visor versus Nyx on Awoken. rapha has the Visor. Name a better duo, first of all. And SIB is going to be rocking that Nyx. But as we take a look at the highlights, yeah, this was once again all of the rapha show. The first frag, look at this chase, though. SIB throwing down the turret, using it as a bit of a blocker. And then it was, after that, it was all bad. It was all wrong, so to speak.
Yeah, that was definitely a momentum killer in itself. The fact that So he was going for that light, trying to at least, he knew he wasn't going to go for the heavy, but to try and contest it and do a bit of damage so he can prepare for the heavy, for the mega straight afterwards. A direct, and then a 70-something just to polish it off nicely for his first frag. And SIB has probably scratched his head thinking, my goodness, he could have got that first frag any other way to get back control. He had to get a direct, and he had to get that 70-something damage at that angle in that position as well. It's not something you normally see, but yeah, a little bit unfortunate for him. But yeah, it's like I said, it is a morale killer at times. And you know, first map 27-3, now going 25-4, not looking too good. It does mean that already in the last 2 maps, Rapha has been able to pick up 52 frags total.
Quick maths.
Not bad.
I was bringing up my calculator, so.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's a whole bunch of frags. That's a lot. That's a bushel or a kettle of fish or whatever you say all the time. But yeah, I mean, what do you do? You're going up against one of the best, if not the greatest player of all time. So I think, again, it comes down to SIB has to be able to try and slow things down as best he can. On Awoken, probably has a better chance. Vale a little bit closer of a map, close quarters in terms of that. Corrupted Keep, there's really no way. I mean, you have to play hyper defensive around corners. Awoken, maybe there's a shot. You got the Ghost Walk in your pocket. You try and utilize the rail. You play distance. You use the Ghost Walk when you need. And I think he could slow it down. I'm not saying that's going to change everything, but I'm saying, in my opinion, I mean, it's just too much, too fast, because Rapha's so good at controlling off the spawn as well. So if you're not delaying your spawn against Rapha, you're essentially giving him at least a free rail, if not more.
You literally are. And now the fact that Rapha's selected Visor, it's just to make the maps worse, isn't it? Of course, you can use the piercing sight for numerous ways. Prep for the items. Of course, to find the Ghost Walk if he does try and get away for defensive purposes. You may even see SIB using it aggressively. Like, you can do it on Awoken. We've seen it a number of times. It depends on the style of player you're against. But the fact that SIB needs to try and out-adapt Rapha with the Visor is going to be an extremely tough road for him. And scorelines, it may not be as large just due to the Ghost Walk, but apart from that, don't be surprised to see the exact same spectacle we've witnessed over the last 2 maps. But let's find out. Let's find out as we go into our last and final map in this series between Rapha and SIB. It's been pretty one-sided so far, but we'll see if SIB can claw this last map and get a bit of chunk of change here. We'll find out soon enough. Rapha's now going to be top mid. Already picked up the mega. Already done oh my god. He's already done 105 on that last try, but still doing a little bit more. But already looking good in terms of an early start here for Rapha.
Hit him with the Sports Center update. 92% in favor of Rapha for this map here. And yeah, I mean, Rapha is just the end boss, but then Rapha on Visor is a super end boss. It's like the second iteration of the end boss, and there's the first frag. We have seen so many fireworks on Awoken. The Tri-Bolt, fantastic weapon. Here's a big play from SIB, and he actually nets the frag. Good damage out of the Ghost Walk, followed up by the starting shotgun. That's going to tie it at 1. And plays like that are what SIB has to maybe do. Sometimes you got to get a little crazy against Rapha, catch him off guard, make him wonder, what are you doing there? What gives you the right? And that's exactly what SIB has to do. But he also has to hit these rails. Just unfortunate missing all of those. That's going to cost him his life. 2-1 Rapha as he's able to grab the mega and float SIB to the heavens, sending him straight back to the sky.
Shame Rapha. SIB did 111 at that choke point. Oh, but the rocket to rail combo straight afterwards. And still trying to add additional pressure. Hits the first, looking for the second, but in the end, he found out the jump pad for that Tri-Bolt. But yeah, earlier on, it was just a shame really. Like SIB obviously doing 111 around the mega choke point. It could have continued with that rail to take the lead, but did not happen. Heavy up in 15. Good Tri-Bolt damage coming out from SIB. Not a huge amount, but it's got the info he needs. But looks like Rapha's going to retaliate with the Tri-Bolt and the rail to boot. 5 seconds until that Heavy's going to be spawning. Rapha's in a prime position here. Just depends on if he wants to prioritize the frag, then go for it. What he's trying to do, but he's backed him so far away, he can go for the Heavy and try and take him out at the same time. I love productivity here from Rapha, being so proactive, trying to force his opponent into certain areas of the map where he can basically time consume and do both at once. Doesn't get the mega this time round, but he's done plenty enough as it is. But the starting shotgun comes out from SIB. Good stuff from him to keep himself in this matchup and get that second frag.
Not bad at all. Getting a second frag on the board, slowing things down. More importantly, as the Heavy is next, he's waiting on the rail, and he eats a gigantic 100 damage rocket. And what do you do when you peek around the corner and there's a rocket in your face mouth? Like, there's nothing you could do. Mega is picked up by SIB, but he's going to get caught in the banana. He goes down immediately. Can't land the rail on the way out either. Piercing sight used to play off the spawn. Rapha almost getting an angle on that rail, but oh no, the armor pickup is actually going to trap SIB, and he's got to fight his way out. The shotgun won't land. Not enough damage this time. As Rapha goes up by 4. Big rocket damage through the telly. A little bit of shotgun follow-up. The LG pushing him away. Rapha trying to maybe melt with the machine gun. A little bit of LG, and the machine gun is going to be what plants SIB for the 7th frag.
Let's find out control just a little bit. SIB is just trying to survive at this point. Coming up with the LG, used the Ghost Walk. That's a decent sign. He knows he hasn't got that Ghost Walk now for at least 40 seconds, or depending on how many hourglasses are going to pick up. He's still trying to get away though, done a little bit of damage, but Rapha is the one with the advantageous angle. He's going to pick that up without taking too much here. And also bags that heavy. Got atomic control. SIB does manage to steal away the Mega, but the problem is they might put themselves in a bad spot, even with that starting shotgun. Waiting for him to repeat with that rail. Good stuff from Rapha to continue palming the pressure. Cleans up the LG. Again, 4 minutes left. So 4 minutes in, and we're currently up 9-2.
Yeah, and Rapha, you can see the adaptation just based on the movement of SIB. He's using the wall jump a lot to peek around the choke points, and Rapha kind of read it and had his crosshair a little bit higher than usual just so he can hit that rail shot. And 7 frags ahead here with, again, no signs of stopping. This is a slower pace. This is what SIB needs, as he grabs the rail and then immediately ghost walks to try and stay alive and maybe open up this game with a couple defensive rails. But it's just rough. This is a rough matchup right now as the Tribal coming out, a little bit more damage. Fancy footwork from SIB. He's going to push with the LG. Good rocket. Can he finish it? And he does. A little more of that is what he needs. 5 seconds to the Mega. He needs to be careful not to take a lot of damage. Great rail off the spawn. Might even follow up. And he does, and now he has full reign of the map, Lethal. Is this the turn that he needs? Everything is different now. Potential. He's going to delay the Mega. Maybe get a rail after this LG. Just missing out on it. Falls back to the health bubble and the Mega. This is good play here from SIB.
Yeah, it certainly is indeed. This is a change. We need to expect too much a little bit later on, but do you know what? He's still got 5 minutes left, so it is still a possibility here. It does have the Ghost Walk, but Rapha comes up with the LG, and would he be able to... Ooh. As Rapha actually had to go for that rail because there's not really any... Oh, what the shotgun through the gap. If it was a rail or rocket, fine. But we know that... We know it's the man's signature weapon, don't we? We know that more than anyone does. Kind of like Razy with the with the gauntlet, pretty much. But
oh no!
Not often you see the shotgun here, but the rail comes out from Rapha. He's going to be trying to get away. Oh, and actually finds him, but SIB does take him down with the tri-bolt here. Is able to stay alive and in good condition in terms of stack as well. Looking to continue to be overly aggressive and one way or another.
Can we talk about how gorgeous that tri-bolt was off the jump pad, just forcing Rapha back down? Like, I love that. Really well played by SIB there to position those tri-bolts on top of the jump pad. Oh my god, the combo from Rapha. So much damage, 13 HP. SIB reeling after that, just wants the Mega, is able to scoop it. Trailing by 5, 4 minutes left. Ooh, tickle around the banana and just takes another rocket to the face. Immediately has to restack back off the T-Con items. But SIB, I mean, this is a different game completely in comparison to the first 2 maps.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's putting up a much better fight in comparison. We know that he's been tucked in the blender for the last couple of maps. But the consistency is looking a lot better this time around in comparison. And he's got no pressure anyway. Rapha's been taken out. Sorry, Rapha took out SIB down with the rail. We've got 3 minutes 20 left remaining. The problem is, though, it's slowly starting to become the realms of possibility here for SIB to come back in this match. Jump heavy's up in the next 8 seconds. Rapha's in prime position. Oh my god.
He doesn't even have vision. That wasn't even a vision rocket. His vision is on cooldown. That was his brain vision. That was his third eye.
I don't think I've even seen a direct from that angle like that. That's absolutely balmy. You always see something new, don't you? And I like that from Rapha as well. Just preemptively using that piercing sight to see if he's approaching towards a Mega.
Oh my
he knew full well he was going to pick up that Mega anyway. The timing was way too off on that Ghost Walk. And SIB, oh my god. Even though there's a tickle damage from doing that as well, and he's going to come out. It was going to use the LG, but of course the signature shotgun there on Rapha. 13-5, 8 frag deficit, 2.5 minutes. Doesn't look too good here for SIB, I'm afraid. Make that 14.
I don't know, Lethal. I'm getting a little suspicious about this. I think we should check his PC because Rafa's just playing out of this world right now. He doesn't even need the vision. There's another frag as he grabs the Mega. Insane. Rocket. I can't believe it. Just, yeah. I feel like he's good at Quake, Lethal. I'm not sure. I don't understand.
So. No, I think
this
you're
guy's
right.
got a real future in the league.
Yeah, we could definitely we could see him win championships one day. But maybe we're looking a bit too early on. We'll see. But no, Rapha. We've got a couple more minutes left to play. SIB can still try and keep the score respectable, but yeah, at this point he's not going to be taking this third map. But he's definitely looking a lot better than he was in the previous two.
Yeah, definitely a better display from SIB. Nice LG, but misses with the rocket. Rapha able to come out on top. But a little more measured here from SIB. I know that, again, the scoreline is going to be the scoreline, right? Oh my god, he doesn't even give him the heavy. You get nothing. Full Willy Wonka on that one, Lethal. He stole fizzy lifting drinks. He bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so he loses. He gets nothing. As the beatdown does not stop until the buzzer hits, and that is unfortunately sometimes the way Quake goes. Almost gets floated again. Does have the ghost walk. Nice rocket, but a rocket right to the telly, right back.
Just stop, right? Oh, the ghost walk as well. You know what? I thought he had a chance. He had a chance.
I'm gonna vomit.
Right.
I need a bucket. I need a bucket to puke in. This is disgusting. Oh.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. It's fine.
Yeah, please hold my hair back.
Oh, Rapha picks up another frag, gets the Mega, 35 seconds left. This is done. This is pretty much done. And so far, he's had 83 frags total, looking to try and make it 84, which he has done. Unbelievable. And SIB was actually making a nice comeback at one stage. I thought, okay, this could be a slightly closer affair, but, you know, sadly, isn't. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Dances around the tri-bolt. Maybe gets the 8th frag. I don't even know, but my god.
Just sitting here waiting patiently for that 23rd frag as the tri-bolt comes out for Rapha, or maybe thought he went to get a bucket. I'm not really too sure on his shenanigans.
I don't know. I apologize, Chad. I tried to clean it out of my beard. It was disgusting. Yeah, so Rapha takes map number 3 in the same fashion that map number 1 and 2 went. It was a bit of a beatdown. But again, just shouts to SIB. I mean, getting in the server with Rapha and going 3 rounds, 10 minutes is not easy at all. So third map, obviously a stronger showing in comparison to map number 1 and 2. But in the end, Rapha just doing Rapha things, especially utilizing that visor, and sometimes not even utilizing that visor, and just knowing where you're going to be and serving up rockets hot and fresh. Just an absolute display of excellence from Rapha in this set here. And I saw someone in chat say, you know, these beatdowns aren't as bad as like CZM on Aerowalk. If Aerowalk was in this game, I'm going to call the commissioner right now. Write your senator. Let's make this happen. Let's get Aerowalk on here and see how bad, like I want a 70 frag game in Quake Champions. But now I'm just showing my age. A lot of people don't even know what Aerowalk is, Lethal.
Aerowalk will probably break records on the first, like, week, probably. Because we know it's going to get selected every single time. A lot of his matchups, just for nostalgia's sake. I can't remember what the frag was, so it was 23. So he hit the 85 frag barrier. 85 in 3 maps. That is unbelievable. But like I said, you know, SIB was put in the grinder, but fair play to him to try and do everything in his package, his arsenal to try and do whatever he can. But these things happen, and it won't be the first time, and it 100% certainly won't be the last time. We've still got 15 more weeks of this, so I'm sure he'll do it to a few more people as well.
So we take a look at the recap. Something that you might not see every week here at the Quake Pro League. My God.
Just unbelievable, and have to see what the future is for SIB next. But in all fairness, SIB has won his first match against Kron 2-1. He lost to Zeniku 2-1, but still pulled a map. Even though he didn't pull a map this time, not many people pull a map from Rapha anyway. It's only a handful of people who can basically create that kind of close matchup in comparison. It's going to be SIB and at least 8 others who's going to be in that 3-0 kind of territory. So he's probably not too fussed about it. He's probably thinking, okay, realistically, that's probably what was going to happen. And, optimistically, he's hoping to probably try and take him out. But these things happen. And it's like I said, it won't be the first time, won't be the last time.
Yeah, I mean, the performance on map 3, again, a lot stronger. He's still sitting 1-2 for the season. That's not bad positioning. He's got a lot of Quake left to play. I say shrug it off and move forward. Rapha, another day at the office for him. The king has showed us how the sausage is made, so to speak. Anyways, we got 2 matches coming up. We're going to invite Weed on because we have the featured matches. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get a puke bucket. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. See you soon, chat.